I just looked up how many acres would you think that were in cultivation under GMO products where they have Roundup ready seed they're planting?
Right, and you're talking about corn.
And not only corn.
Yeah, right.
90 million acres.
Yeah.
Across the United States.
Yeah.
90 million acres, and that's just corn.
So,
that's not soybean, alfalfa, cotton, sugar beets, all these other canola, all these other things that they, milo, all these other things that they're doing the same thing with.
right.
And you know, and 90 million acres of just corn. I hadn't looked up the rest of it.
And that
found the total number.
For the viewer, that in other words, they're growing 90 million acres of GMO corn that if it were grown organically would be 20 times more nutritious. So the GMO corn is 1/20th the nutritional value of organic corn.
That's right.
And then they're destroying the soil on top of it.
And it just keeps going on and on. Well, there's, you take, used to it'd take 8 pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of meat. 20 times, so now it's 20 times 8, that's 160 pounds of corn to produce 1 pound of meat.
Yeah.
You know, and what is the price? That's going to force the price. You know, these feed yards are not going to be able to stay in business.
Right.
Because there's so much, they have to feed so much to get so little.
Well, even worse, the consumer is going to be pushed to pay $15, $20, $30 a pound for beef.
Of course,
it's
they
insane.
have to. They have
right.
to survive.
And that's one reason the price of meat has gone up so much, is this GMO corn. It's taken so much to produce a pound of beef.
Now the other side, what they'll say is we've doubled production.
Sure.
You know, by weight, and that's why they get paid. They get paid by the weight.
Yeah.
Not by the nutritional value or the taste.
Right.
Strictly by the volume. And so that's what they're doing. They're growing inert crap that has no nutritional value in it, but they can grow a whole hell of a lot of it, and it weighs a ton. And they cut their expense down because they're not doing as much cultivation and spraying. That's how they sold it, see?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how they sold it to the farmer, and it keeps going on and on. When we was talking that 90 million acres just for corn,
right.
We're talking about purifying water. 90 million acres of contaminated water that's going into our water table, just on corn alone.
Right.
And then once it gets into our water table, then we end up drinking it anyway.
Yeah, and we need people to realize we got a problem that's coming from both directions. You got the chemical companies getting the, foisting pollutants on the top of the soil, by pushing farmers to do the GMO corn. And then you got the oil companies fracking from underneath, and they're destroying our groundwater. They're essentially raping America.
Oh, absolutely.
From two different directions.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't, they twist things around so much, but it has nothing to do with trying to be healthy.
Right.
In the same way, everything that grass-fed cattle.
Right.
The big money don't want to feed that worthless corn to their cattle because it's going to cost too much.
Right.
So they're pushing for grass-fed cattle. To eat more grass-fed cattle, or to be a veggie. And they don't want to. They're not talking just be a veggie, and you're still getting the crap that you're eating. You don't know if you're getting organic food. The problem is when you sell it to the elevator.
Sure.
You sell your good corn without GMOs to the elevator, and they mix it with GMO corn.
Well, if that's the case, then how do you know?
It's all contaminated.
Yeah.
Because it's ground up and sold at a mill, and then so you've got contaminated corn in your cornmeal.
Right.
So that's why it's all contaminated.